The idea of extending border control within the United States, not just to try to police at the actual borders, the ocean borders or the land borders, and also try to identify those who had already entered the United States, were living and working in the United States, but who had entered illegally, and then also to deport them, to remove the problem, also began with Chinese. In 1892, Congress passed the Geary Act, which required that all Chinese who had entered the United States legally carry a document called a certificate of residence. This is a precursor to the contemporary green cards. All Chinese had to have these documents on hand. If they did not have the document, they were presumed to have entered illegally and were subject to deportation. And this changes the game of border enforcement. It means that those who are in the United States feel vulnerable and are at risk. It also highlights this problem that only Chinese were required to carry these documents. And so there was a racial basis. All Chinese were considered to be suspects for illegal immigration until they had proved otherwise. And this is one of the real concerns and worries about the Arizona law, which is that what are the markers of an illegal immigrant? And this long history of race-based immigration restriction, race-based enforcement tells us that it is very likely having to do with your appearance. If you look like somebody who comes of a country that is associated with high levels of illegal immigration. And thus, the fear is that the law will be applied very unevenly. It places an onerous and undue burden on particular categories of persons. And this is, of course, a tremendous problem for Mexican Americans, for Latinos, but there are other populations that are also illegal immigrants. For example, a few years ago, highest levels of illegal immigration actually were associated with Canadians and with Irish, who would come and then would simply stay and work. But because they don't look how many people think an illegal immigrant does, they won't suffer the same kinds of consequences. And so it is a concern about how the law will be enforced, the kinds of markers, visual markers that people associate with being illegal immigrants, and the fear is that it will be a punitive action against particular populations, Mexican and Latino Americans particularly.